having this night with just the amount of people that came back. We all saw the turnout last night, and I know there's something planned for later tonight. So how does that make you feel to see so many people make the effort to get back?
It's very special to be able to share this with my old teammates and my family, and have some closure, and just appreciate the great memories, and it's just a great feeling just to see my dad with a smile on his face, my mom with a smile on her face, and my kids. My kids didn't get to see me play here, and these were really special times. So I'm just really happy that we had a moment like last night.
Who were you most surprised to see come back?
Tabo. Tabo was one of the first faces I saw here when I got drafted, and was a close friend of mine, and didn't get to see him much since he lives in Switzerland. He came from Switzerland to be here, so it's yeah. When you're done playing, sometimes you get so caught up in winning and losing and the business and all that stuff, and you realize that all you have in the end is your memories and your relationships, your friendships. So to see all the guys that you battled with come back and make an effort to come back, it's really special.
Joe, what are you doing now? What's your days like? Could you elaborate a little bit?
A lot less anxiety. I sleep a lot better. I'm getting married this summer. I'm really excited about that. I take my kids to school. It's a slower pace, but I love it. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of purpose. I work with my foundation. I'm really excited to be able to come back to Chicago and do some things that to help here. Work with the Bulls on some initiatives to do well here. Do some things for the kids. Working with closely with NBA Africa as well, and watch the development of basketball over there on the continent. Working with Luol, and that's something I'm really proud of as well. So, just I feel like basketball, especially the Bulls, have given me an unbelievable platform, and now I'm able to move to the next step.
A lot of players have difficulty with the transition from playing and everything that goes into playing to the next stage of their life.
Yeah.
How was that for you, and when did it sort of cross over to, hey, this is better or better?
I think it hasn't been that difficult, to be honest, for me. Obviously I miss the competition, and I miss the locker room. But when your body tells you it's time to go, it's time to go. So you have to be honest with yourself. I shot every bullet in my gun, and I have no regrets. I gave it everything I got. And you know what? Yesterday it just felt great to just spend some time with teammates that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I feel like that is what it's all about. Being able to talk about the memories and the good times, the hard times. I mean, it's like I look at Kirk Heinrich's face, and right away I was thinking about Game 2 in the Celtics series, and I messed up an assignment on a switch, and Ray Allen hit the 3. And we talked about it yesterday. I swear I had tears in my eyes just talking to him about it, because that's how much I cared about him. I was like, damn, I let Cap down. And, when it's just so many guys, I just think about moments like that where, you have so much respect for somebody that your teammates And it was just like, I just didn't want to let him down, you know? And I haven't spoke to Cap in a long time. And it was just like so many just really dope moments.
Do you have a favorite encore memory from here, Chicago?
I mean, so many, you know, but there were good ones, there were bad ones, and there were just a lot of lessons. And, you know, it's like when things were great, just never get too high and never get too low. And that was always, you know, my problem. My problem was always like I couldn't sleep after wins. I was too excited. And when we lost, I would get depressed. So it was just, I was an emotional roller coaster. So I have a little more stability right now with that part of my life. But it was a lot. Emotionally, it was a lot.
You mentioned your foundation. I know you've always kind of had a little bit of footprint here, even when you moved on. Will you be in Chicago more now with this ambassador role on the foundation?
100%. I'm very excited to be back here. And, you know, I feel like we did a lot of good work here in Chicago while I was playing here. And now I have a lot of time. So, you know, I don't have to worry about, you know, getting healthy or anything like that. Right now, I have the time to be able to focus on my the foundation and being an ambassador for the Bulls, and, you know, sharing my experience and being of help. You know, I think that the Bulls have a great team. I love their coaching staff, obviously, and I love the organization. So the organization's given me so much. So whatever I can to be of help, I'll do.
What were the conversations like? I know obviously you got connections with Billy as far as like joining the coaching staff. Was that ever a thing on the table? Did they ever kind of
Coaching staff?
Yeah.
I don't mess with coaches like that. But you know, Coach Donovan was obviously another father, like a father figure to me, and somebody who's always very balanced. But, you know, to be a coach, you have to be a little bit sick. You know, you have to, when you're not feeling it, you have to motivate a group of men to go out there and get the job done. And that's a tough job, you know, but it's never something that I was attracted to. I was more interested in kids, working with kids and doing things in that nature. I think that and there's too much going at the pro level. It's too hard. It's like, it's because it's a business. There's too much other things going on that I'm not really interested in it.
Are you calling Tibbs sick?
Tibbs? Oh, he's sick. He's sick for sure. But I love him. And, you know, it's great to be here today for this game, because Tibbs and Coach Donovan are two, you know, father figures to me. They're both two guys that I learned a lot from. Tibbs would always tell me, you know, do you have your house in order? When Tibbs became a head coach, I was probably the guy that spent the most time with him that summer. And we worked out every day, and there were workouts that were the hardest workouts of my life. I'd never been so prepared. And he would always ask me, do you have your house in order? And I didn't know what that meant at the time. And now that I'm done, I understand what that means now. And, you know, it's something that resonates to me every day. Do you have your house in order? And I think about my wife, I think about my kids and what I can do, you know, for them. And, you know, there's a lot of life lessons in basketball. And with Coach Donovan, you know, he would always tell me to live in the moment, be on the court, next play. And it's just another life lesson that I carry to this in my life, you know, just, you know, especially today, I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces, people that I've shared a lot of special times with. Stay in the moment, enjoy it, stay in the moment. don't get caught up in what's going to happen next, and that's something that those are two messages that I carry from my coaches.
You see Tom in New York, you're from New York, and are you still living in New York? No, you're, but just Tom with the Knicks and having turned around the franchise.
Tibbs is a great coach, and to see guys that I played with like Taj and Derek doing so well, and Tibbs as well, I'm really happy for them because they deserve it. These are great guys. I see how Taj is moving around, not just on the court, but also in the community. I'm really proud of, the man he is, and it's crazy. That's my son. And now he's like an OG, and same with Derek. It's like I'm seeing these guys like really taking on great leadership roles, and to do it in New York, to see those guys doing well, I'm really happy for them.
There's a lot of great athletes that come out of Chicago. Why do you think your career resonated so much with Chicago fans?
I think, every season has a different story, but I think that playoff run early on really set the tone, and I had great vets who really taught me the ropes. I think of, Kirk, I think of Ben Wallace, I think of guys that Brad Miller. I had solid, these are solid people, and I think that it resonated because also when the adversity hit, that's really when you see what people are made of. And I think that through our adversity, I think that we fought. And I think that people respected that.
Joe, there was a time when I thought it was likely that that you and Derek would be the next two players that have numbers retired by the Bulls. It could still happen, I guess, but do you ever think about that? Did you ever think about that, or do you still?
I don't think about it at all. To me, to have a moment where I see my little sisters smiling, I see my old teammates smiling, I see my mom proud. My dad flew in from Africa. I don't get to see him that much, and just to see how proud my family is of the journey and to be able to have a moment with them like this. I mean, to me, it was always about that part. It was always about bring your people together and be able to share good times. And when you're playing, you're caught up in so much other things. So to have a moment like this, to me, is bigger than anything.
I know you were here for a game last season, but in the spirit of kind of that celebratory moment, was it also important for you to come back and have this with fans in the building and kind of a packed house in Houston?
For sure. The energy of this place brought out a crazy side of me. It's like there were times playing in this building where I didn't even feel my legs when I was running up and down the court. That's how hype I was, and you can't replicate those feelings in anything else in life, that kind of adrenaline, like even just driving on Ogden right now and making that left, I'm like, oh my God, like just these feelings, it's like they're hard to describe, but I feel like it was really a blessing to be able to have that for 8-9 years, was really special.
We'll take one more in the room and then we're going to.
Joe, is there a void at all, considering that you were champion in college, that you didn't get a championship? It seemed like when you came back to Memphis and toward the end with the Clippers, you were maybe trying to be in a position to do one more time.
So, I don't understand.
Was there a void, for you, a void that you couldn't play for a championship, ultimately the NBA?
I really wanted to win a championship. I always really wanted to win a championship. That's why I played the game. But I think that I realized like later on, I was chasing something that it didn't make sense anymore. You know, I was like, the sacrifice that goes into being a champion, I didn't feel it the same. It was harder to when my daughter was born and when my son was born. It was just, I wasn't ready to make those sacrifices anymore, the same way that I was when I was playing with the Bulls. So when that happened and when I felt that way, then I knew it was time to get away. And that bubble too, that bubble sucked. That bubble, I was like, okay, I'm good.
Joe, we're gonna take two more. One comes from Antoine. Go ahead, Antoine.
Bonjour Joe, je te pose la question en français. Bien sûr, si tu préfères répondre en anglais, tu peux. Je comprends pour les collègues aussi. Comment justement, est-ce que tu peux nous dire un petit peu comment s'est passée cette journée? Je suis sûr qu'il y a eu beaucoup de choses, tu te rappelles pas de tout, mais si tu peux un petit peu comme ça nous dire comment tu as vécu la chose, avec quelques moments au moins, ça serait assez sympa.
Beaucoup d'émotions. C'était vraiment des moments super de partager avec ma mère, mon père, mes sœurs, beaucoup de mes ex-coéquipiers. C'était vraiment des moments vraiment spéciaux. Et juste voir la fierté dans ma famille surtout, c'est ça vraiment qui m'a fait le plus plaisir hier soir. Et hier soir, c'était l'apéritif, c'était l'apéro. Et ce soir, on va voir un très, très beau match entre les Knicks et les Bulls. On est super excités. En plus, pouvoir passer du temps avec Tibbs, passer un peu de temps avec coach Donovan, c'est vraiment des moments spéciaux. On a bu pas mal de pinard. On s'est bien marré. On a parlé de beaucoup du vécu et voir Kirk Henrik, voir Brad Miller, voir tous ces super joueurs que, tu vois, c'est vraiment des grands frères. Alors, passer du temps avec eux, c'était vraiment super.
And one last one from Christos.
Hello, Joakim. First of all, congratulations about your career. What is the legacy of Joakim Noah through the years, and how the fans you would like to remember you as a player?
Honestly, that was never I never really cared about that. That was about worrying about what my legacy is. And that's never really why I played the game. And everybody's different. To me, it was just being true to who I was. I'm somebody who had some really good moments in the NBA. I'm also somebody who had some really low moments in the NBA. And, you know, I've been really happy. I've been very embarrassed. I've felt a lot of emotions in this game. And I'm somebody who has a lot of experience. So hopefully I can share that with the younger generation and just be at peace, you know, just be at peace. To me, it's never been about legacy or how people remember you. That's never been why I do this.
Thank you, Joe.
No problem.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.